Is outsourcing tech support evil? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. It's very common if you have customer support that you can call for a service or product that you use, that the tech support person may or may not be in your country. They may not be on your continent. They may be on the other side of the planet. This is very common, and it's actually a cost-cutting measure. And to put it, I guess, a certain way, it's one of the ways that companies manage to keep the costs of their products under control. Unfortunately, there are issues, and it has gotten a very bad reputation. When you pick up the phone and call customer service, when somebody answers and they have an accent of any sort, all of a sudden you start to feel negatively towards that person. Honestly, that shouldn't happen. And here's why. It's really not about the location. I personally don't care where the customer support person is. I want them to be able to do two things, and two things only. One, understand and be able to communicate. By that I mean, I want to be able to describe whatever problem I have and have them both understand what I've said and be able to communicate clearly what it is I need to do. This is one of those things that I think a lot of outsourced tech support does fall down on, in the sense that because they are overseas, they don't necessarily have, in my case, a full grasp of English, and yet they should. But when they do, great. I'm happy. And I have, in fact, run into overseas tech support, clearly overseas tech support, that actually does speak and understand English clearly. The second thing I want, competence. I want them to know their product. I want them to be able to help me. That is something that is often lacking, but it knows no boundaries. It is a failing that I have experienced both overseas and with domestic tech support. They have a script, or they have something that they are required to follow, but they don't really understand the product that they're trying to help me with. Again, it's not about location. It's about understanding, and it's about competence. If you can meet those two criteria, I don't care where you are. And I have a good experience. Many years ago, I was flying somewhere. I was on a trip, and I had reason to come home quickly, unexpectedly. I called the airline customer support, and indeed, it was very clear from the accent that the individual I was speaking to was in another country. But he understood what I needed. I could understand him easily, and he was able to solve my problem. That's what matters. Not where they're located, but whether or not they can solve your problem. And yes, if you run into situations where they can't, either because they don't understand their product or they don't understand you, then absolutely do what you can to express your displeasure to the company involved. They need to understand this. But basically, outsourcing tech support, when done properly, is actually a reasonable approach to keeping costs under control. But it has to be competent. If it's not, it's a waste of money, no matter how much you're saving. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/2510. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.